we're starting a new project. We're putting in a calendar view, and uh, this is kind of an intermediate thing. I'm just going to get started on the user interface, and we'll go back to persistence in the new year. I'm doing well though. I took a fall the other day. I don't know if you see the bruise or not, but other than that, in good spirits. Okay, so they're all things we want to try, and I think the timeline view in particular, kind of a Gantt chart looking thing with vertical or horizontal stripes showing the dates, and you might even want to turn your phone for scrolling purposes. But I think that'll be a nice view, and I think you'll need a calendar page view just so you can, you know you're doing something in June you want to check. The other one I want to add is search by name and search by distance. So I live in North Carolina. I might be willing to drive 2 hours to something. I could, or maybe a 1 hour drive. I can go home at night. And if it's more than 1 hour, I'm probably going to stay the night. So I might be looking for some close ones and see what I can do easily. All right. Hmm. I think this Mac has a problem when it sleeps. I don't even if I shut it down for sure, but even when it sleeps, I think it does something funny with the USB and between the USB and the mic and disconnects something, and that fuzziness happens. It's funny. I do a mic check and I can see that it's producing stuff and it doesn't look all random scatter, but apparently that wasn't enough today. Okay. Well, all right. So we've got the festival calendar and nothing. Okay. Boy, that's kind of unacceptable. Why is that doing that? Oh, okay, because we don't have background on him. Um, yeah, let's borrow some of the background on these others. Um, shoot, they all go somewhere. Where is it? All songs view. Yeah. Okay, and I think we'll take this and well, I don't know if I really should worry about this too much, but okay. And then the body. Um, sorry, all songs view. Okay, we got that stuff. Yeah, that's somewhat like I'm gonna see, but I'm really just experimenting for today, so I don't think I'll worry too much about that. Um, just to get this kind of the same. So text, DVD. There you go. You got your hot new Mac, right? Okay, so DVD looks a little better. That pinkish, whitish pink thing is gone. Okay, so I think the biggest area, well, I'm not quite sure what. I know there's a calendar picker. Calendar picker Swift UI. Date picker. Okay, sure. Um, and yeah, I mean he has a view like this, right? So, I mean, I theoretically could show this, but I wonder if is there just a calendar view? Sure seems like there ought to be. UI calendar view, custom calendar view. Yeah, we may end up doing this sort of thing, but yeah. What's he doing? He's wrapping a UI calendar view, add sub view, UI view. Okay. Yeah. Oh, with a date picker in it. Okay. That seems like an old approach. Yeah, as a full-fledged calendar, it has its limitations. Oh, use a library called FS Calendar. What's he got there? That's a little awkward. The bubble is off. Adding tab view. Yeah, I'm kind of anticipating a tab view. All right. So, I mean, I think we can show a calendar with date picker, and I suspect you can turn off the month stuff and yeah, it looks like we can do that. I'll maybe save this article. All right. But I think the chart stuff is, I've definitely played with that a lot less, just a tiny little bit. Built-in shapes. Okay, well, this could be interesting. We'll just see what he's got going here. And let's put a preview on this because I think we can work there quicker, hopefully. DPN. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever used that. Does it kick in when it wants to, or is it controlled? I mean, I think it's pretty unusual. You know, sometimes, I mean, like Java has something like that. C++ has something like that. But, you know, if you're holding an open connection or something, you might not want to keep holding it. But I don't know if you can force the release. So, what's it called? Paul Hudson, the Hacking with Swift guy, has an app that's just kind of a Learn Swift app, and kind of gives you little snippets and then shows it. Oh yeah. What is that called? I don't know. It's I don't know, if you look in the App Store for Paul Hudson, you might find this thing, but I've been doing it on my iPad, and he's got, I don't know, 100 lessons on different aspects of Swift. Mostly just Swift itself, not so much Swift UI, at least as far as I got. But it kind of goes through that stuff. But that might be worth your time if you're going through things. I'm trying to go through a little more systematically, you know. Okay, well, I guess that's an interesting view. Let's hide this one. I guess it's just comparing a rectangle to a rounded rectangle to something, right? Uneven rounded rectangle. Oh, you can not. Some can be corners and some can be round. Capsule, ellipse. I guess the capsule is a little better for putting words in. Okay. Oh yeah, did set and will set. Yeah. Yeah, that was actually the lesson I looked at yesterday. Okay. Well, that's just a shape. That's not really the graph. Let's see. Rectangle plot. Yeah, this is, I think, the one I want to play with. Well, we'll just take their example. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of playing around today. Not much deliverable. You know, offer to import it? No. Is it just charts? No, I must have gotten here from somewhere. Could be Swift charts. tasks. And modifiers with keypath before adding modifiers with simple values. Okay, so I guess my task has a project, a start time, and an end time. Gotta build my own, I guess. I don't know, call me weird. He's trying. Still quiet? All right, I'm not sure where the mic even is on this thing, but do you hear me better? Hey, my truck, welcome. Okay. Failed to build. Oh, status, okay. Okay, well, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's the computer ports. I'm not sure, but it's been flaky for a while now. A couple weeks it's been acting up. Okay, failed to build. What's going on still? Foreground style. Color conform to plottable. I don't know what makes things plottable. Well, let's try leaving it off and see if that does anything. keep looking. Plotable. Oh, thanks, you too. Yeah, 2025 seems impossible that it's here, but it just about is. Okay, X value category AA. I just don't know what that means. Some value plottable. You can make an enumorphist categorical. Well, what's it showing? Okay. Oh, okay. They're not as skinny as I thought they would be. But it's, well, for default, it's probably okay. What I'm imagining is little skinny lines. Not fat vertically, and that, well, I was hoping the color would show up on them, but X value time. Oh, status is my color. Okay. So what is this? I guess it's choosing the colors. And what's a rectangle mark versus a plot? Okay. Well, that looks a little closer to what I have in mind. But he's got point mark, so it gets the dot with that and the rectangle with this. Okay, let's try rectangle mark instead of rectangle plot. Of course not. All right. X start, Y start. Okay, we'll just steal the whole example. Struct chord var data. This is the body, I guess. Initializer content requires chord to conform to identifiable. More problems. Okay. Sorry, plot. Okay, so so we give it start and end in a coordinate system. And we control the height, so that's something. Failed to build. I don't see any red bars. It's even an old message. Well, let's clean it and try again. Now, what's weird to me, I mean, I sort of chose the dates up here, 10. You'd think it would be right on the 10. Failed to build calendar's view. Well, let's run. Yeah, somehow it's built this. Who knows? Okay. Well, that sure looks a lot like my content view, doesn't it? Oh, because that's what it is. Okay, let's do it like this. Okay, that's more like what they showed the example being. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's what it is stretched out. My dimensions are... I mean, this might make sense. I'm also going to have some fun with dates, right? Because this thing seems to like integers. I don't know what it does for dates. Plottable value. Well, maybe I can just do that. Or maybe I do some sort of Julian date where you just count the day number of the year. Might work. X interval and a fixed Y interval. X, Y start Y and width. Oh, now width? Okay. It is a little weird. Oops. Like vertically, he's had to smush it in. I don't know if can I make it scrollable? Oh, well, I think that's better. At least it's more consistent. It still looks good this way, maybe. These marks, these numbers, though. Well, I'm pretty sure you can control the axis. Okay, so let me get back to my to-do list on this thing. So calendar page view, I guess I'm going to try and do some work up with the date selector, date picker. The timeline view is going to be based on what we just did. If you select an event, I'm just assuming we'll put a star on it or something and maybe pull those up to the top. Search by name, search by distance. Yeah, let's pull those searches up. I mean, I think they're going to be at least 3 views. I don't know. I think the calendar view has its merits. I think the timeline view has its merits. And I think the event, there's sort of a flat events view. Okay. And then I think the search by name or distance. So I'm sort of imagining that you, yeah, so I'm imagining some sort of star them. And the ones you star will sort to the top every time. And then you can open it up and make your notes. And maybe that's the flat view, just lets you make notes. All right, so let's construct the searches, because we kind of know how to do those. Yeah, we'll have to either. I was sort of assuming you'd give like a zip code or a city name or a state name, and we would go from that, rather than bring in the GPS, because I'm not going to give you turn-by-turn directions or anything. But I think it's just like, you're saying, like, I've got family in Nebraska now because I was living in Nebraska and moved to North Carolina. So I might look and say, anything near Nebraska. And maybe it comes up with, there's wind fields in Kansas, it's the closest thing or something. Or I might say, well, I want to stick local, North Carolina. I'm willing to go to West Virginia or neighboring states kind of thing. Maybe a couple hours away or 4 hours away or something, because like, if it's more than 4 hours, like you're definitely getting a hotel and all that. If it's a couple hours, you might not. Yeah, I always turn mine off too. It's like, yeah. But I don't think it's unreasonable to let you search by distance if you have to provide the the end point, because where you are may not be where you want to look. You know, if you're going, you know, you're already taking a trip to Florida, you might say, well, what's going on there this summer? And maybe even just, maybe the calendar views aren't even the most important views. Yeah, that's, well, this is almost search by date. Might be another way to say the other reasonable one. I mean, if I think of going back to this, where did it go? You know, you might say, well, I'm taking vacation in June, or June, July, and August. You know, I want to see what's coming up in June. I don't think I'll do state by state if I do some sort of distance thing, you know, but that would be worth it. You know, I definitely could see searching for dates. I have a friend who lives in Alaska, and she came out, was planning to come out last year before various hurricanes and COVID and whatever. But she was planning to come out for a month, and she knew she wanted to go to one festival, and she knew she wanted to go to a weekend, and she wanted to see what else was going on, you know. And like, that's pretty reasonable for that scenario. I think is relatively common. Okay. Yeah, so let's move this stuff. Let's kind of switch modes. Let's put stuff we know how to do up top, and then maybe take a point of view of getting kind of minimally useful, right? It's like we have to be better than this, which shouldn't be too hard. And if it was by date and it just showed these, but maybe a little more structured, and you open it up kind of view, that would be progress. Date may be more important than name. Yeah, right. So I think even this, maybe don't worry about name and distance yet. Certainly not distance, but you search by date or search by name, and we bring up the ones that match, and that's that flat events view, and that should be kind of like our jam log, where you can click on the arrow on the right and go to the detail page. And then if you can star the events, that's pretty good, because you want to look through and say, like, which ones do I think I might go to, and then maybe winnow them down a bit, make some notes. Yeah, I think that's a minimal kind of thing that doesn't have any calendar yet, but it's just get something in there. Okay, so I'm going to take all songs view. We want the picker, just like we had the in our other thing. So the picker is, well, let's just take these. Okay, so I'll leave this down as a spike. And I don't know, I'm not, whoops. We'll get a counter too. I'm okay leaving it in like that for a while. It's not the best thing to leave in commented code, but I think I will take that take that bending of my normal rules. All right, so this was all in a V stack. Oh, I got the V stack already. Okay. Probably got an extra. No? Okay. So, sort order. Am I filtering or sorting? Yeah, I guess I'm sorting. It's kind of both. Okay, but in any case, we need a
state variable to capture these things. Sort order and filter text. Yeah, I'm going to take this out. Okay, and we'll have a new order. Which is an enum. And I'd probably make them strings so we can display them. Date equals date and distance. Okay. And then what sort orders? Is that the whole enum? Oh, that's the array of ones you're going to use. Okay. No, there's... Oh, I got case iterable. That's the one. We don't need that anymore. Yeah, search by date. Yeah, maybe a range. Maybe we'll do like the month before, the month after that date. We'll see. Okay, I'm gonna take this one out. Okay, that's not gonna look right, but is the preview gonna do any better now? Do I have to make them identifiable too? I think that's the easy way. Maybe it is. Why? Okay. Yeah, we'll have to figure that one out. I mean, a date maybe has to bring up a calendar picker. I don't know. for that thing. Okay, need some spacer, filter. Need the selected one first. Song order.name, that was not helpful. I really hate not being able to run the preview. I wonder if it's the extra stuff at the bottom is throwing it. Okay, yeah, something about that. All right. Date feels weird. Distance seems okay. I may have to do, let's give a function. I kind of want to make this text depend on it. Filter. I mean, name filter seems okay, but date, I want to say month maybe. If you type the month, we'll give you stuff in that month. I don't know. I think we're going to have a view that's more calendar oriented and really let you do a range. And then distance should maybe say miles. I guess it's going to be US centric. I don't think we have a handful of overseas subscribers, and I don't think we have any festivals listed for overseas that aren't virtual. Okay, but all right, but if I had this and I had the list of stuff that matched, actually ignore those and just get the list of all of these. That match the name, and then just show them in date order or alphabetical. Oh, I guess show them in date order probably is the right default for anything. Okay, so these, well, they're basically events or festivals or something. Events, maybe. That's all songs. I want calendars. Okay, but I guess I'm stealing from all songs. We're going to want a list of some sort. Plus, and where's Jam View? Right, he's got this navigation link thing going. I mean, that's kind of what I want. I want this over here. Well, let me just steal this much. I don't don't know how similar it's going to be, but okay. We don't have libraries, so we need events. We're not doing keys, so we're not restricting it. I don't know, is there a section header that makes sense? Maybe the date. Yeah, I mean, we do get a few people from overseas to come to the festivals sometimes. I will say that. I know we've, one of our friends is German that comes once in a blue moon, and I believe we had somebody from Australia one time and some others. Yeah, some Canadians. Okay, so this is something about events. I'm not quite sure what. It's probably in a database somewhere. No, it's probably pulled from online, realistically. Okay, so we got events, and I guess they're gonna be like months. If we divide it into sections, kind of like this, I'm gonna put them by month. And if you start searching, well, you search dulcimer. I mean, some of these have dulcimer in their name and some don't. So you should find them by their date. Yeah, I think you should see what ones have that name in what month. Maybe month and year to be clear, because you get to the end of the year like now, you want to keep track of that. Okay. So this is, well, I'm going to make up events. Var events is going to be array of event, which doesn't exist. Struct event. Okay. And I guess events have to know the months if I'm going to do that for sections. Now, my list of events needs to know the month. Well, can I do this? I think we did that before. Function months. Well, it's a var, I guess. Var months of something. Oh, time is such a pain. Month, year. We'll just define our own. Okay. Must not contain stored properties. Okay. Oh, it's not stored. It's a junk answer. So I'm just putting junk in. I mean, I don't want to say it's junk, but I'm putting the class names in to reference something, but I'm not trying to fill them at all yet. That'll be a future set of stories. And when we get back January 6th, I'm going to be working on persistence and finishing Jamlog and the song indexes, for that initial load. Okay, so it returns a list of months, because that's what we need. What do we call those? Describable debug. What is that gets you a name string? It's Custom string convertible. Okay. Okay. Like that. Foreground style special text. Okay. Library.songs containing. Okay. Well, this is something too, isn't it? It's kind of back to this events thing. Like, we may really want to make a class out of this, but we're going to need a similar function that applies the filters, basically. For each event dot events dot containing matching. Okay, I'm not doing any filtering yet. Just trying to get stubs in for everything. Okay, so this is events.matching month year. We're at the order yet. Content. Now that was our view coming in, some view, right? Content is view builder. Now, I think maybe future. It's definitely a little tricky. Okay, so this, let's just give it event. And I don't think we need filter text at this point. Okay, so let's do like we did over here. All songs content of view. Okay. And we don't need a binding to string. Well, maybe we do. But this is event. Binding of string. I think that was filter text before. Now I guess that's letting us edit it. Content with song and filter text. Okay. And event binding of string goes to content, and this is now content of view. Or was it some view? No, content of view is a view. Okay. Insert function. Do I have function? Oh, that's the init. Okay, it's just var. Content, putting content. Okay. What else is wrong? I know we're not there yet. I think I have to have an initializer for this too. Wow. We're just taking all. This one is event. Okay. Deer has to be identifiable, really. Okay. That's probably not good. Okay, we'll let him go that way. I think I may be messing it up. Month year conform to string protocol. Month year identifiable comma. I guess content should be doing an event. Event binding of string. Event binding of string. Okay, what's the problem? Event content. Referencing initializer. Something with content on for each requires event conform to identifiable. Ay, ay. That's true. Now I'm going to steal the navigation stuff. Okay. But we'll simplify it for now. And actually, I don't even think we need that to do this. Let's just Text of event. Oh, is he going to let me do that? Event conform to string protocol. Okay. Oh, and I just need a preview, sorry. Well. I guess we'll steal this here too. Can I go back to preview view? All right. Okay. Not the prettiest thing, but that's kind of enough to see the shape of it. Let's see this. Let's make the real one more like the Jamlog view, that it actually provides the navigation link, and I think that'll be a good wrap. Navigation link and the label. Let's just make this. So Jamlog song, I think, is just the description, right? Yeah. So I'll make this one be the text of event.description for now. And this be well, let's make it and that doesn't exist yet, so let's just put something fake in there. Okay. Okay, let's just see how that goes. I had thought so too, but it seemed to be complaining. I'll try it again in a moment. Yeah, that's good so far. Okay. And I'll just throw a spacer in just for aesthetics, but yeah, I thought this was optional. He's custom string convertible, right? Event. Yeah. I don't know if that's a change or if I'm misremembering. Oh, you shouldn't. Okay. Oh, accessing a text description properly. Huh. Well, what's going on here? Okay, we add conformance. Custom point struct uses the default representation. Yeah, that doesn't help me. Ugh. Well, let's use the actual object as the string. Okay, we got song. Yeah, this is not. Allows you to use the actual object itself as a string. What if I say verbatim? Um, It is. I mean, so they're saying this would work. Huh. Make sure that's true. Yeah. Okay. I'm puzzled because I could have sworn, like you're thinking, that you could just put the name in there and the text would pick it up, but apparently not. All right. Well, that's about as far as I want to go on a UI for this thing. It's got some stub classes and enough to show some data. This, we haven't really defined how this all's going to work, but it's a start. And I think for the name view, we can get things showing the way we'd like enough. I'm going to call it a wrap here. I also have a UI for a metronome app. And if I do another session, I'll probably tackle that just to kind of get some basic stuff in place, even though the functionality for it's not going to be there. But yeah, we'll give it a go from there. And then Monday, we're going to pick up and finish the initializing stuff so that the database gets properly initialized when it's first opened. And after that, we'll come back around to the metronome in the calendar. I think the calendar is probably more useful at this point. Like lots of people probably have metronome apps if they want one, but the only calendar I know of for this stuff is ours. You know, I mean, I think there are probably others, but they're web pages, not manipulatable things. All right, well, thanks for kicking in for a short session here, and Happy New Year to you. I'll catch you Monday for sure, and maybe before then. Bye-bye.